Yes, I think to building your own business, you have to sacrifice a year, 2 or 3, whatever it takes you from your life to focus on it. And this sacrifice will give you so much in the future.
Welcome to Built in Vegas, the podcast where we spotlight the stories, strategies, and resources behind the businesses that make Vegas thrive. Whether you're starting up or scaling up, you're in the right place. Brought to you by the Video Podcast Studio.
We'll just kind of dive straight into it.
Yes.
So you're not from Vegas. Where are you and how did you get to Vegas?
So I'm from Israel, and I got to Vegas by mistake. I just finished my service in the army, and I went with one of my friends to Thailand to vacation, and then we came back to Israel, and I felt like I need more. I wanted to go travel more, explore more. I always have this desire to explore, and I was like, you know what? I have my visa to here, and like maybe should I come United States? And then of course everyone knows Las Vegas, even in Israel. And I told myself I want to go to Vegas. That's where I want to go. I will figure it out, but I want to go to Vegas. And then 3 months later, I had a flight ticket, and here I am now.
How was that transition? Was it scary moving here? Did you come by yourself? Like, what was that like?
Honestly, it wasn't scary to me. I'm not sure why, but it wasn't scary. And I came here by myself. No family, no friends, no one Israeli to came for. Just like literally by myself.
That's crazy. And then so from there, you got into medical sales?
Yes, I did some medical sales in conferences. I sold like red light therapy devices.
What's something that you learned in medical sales, like that translates into what you're doing now, which is real estate? You know, what's maybe like a sales tactic or something that you learned about sales?
No is not an answer. And actually to connect with your clients, to understand their needs, to listen more than speak, and really like to listen to them and their needs. And if you find a solution for what they needed, so you got to sell.
I like how you said no is not an answer.
Yes.
How do you handle the objection when somebody says no?
So when someone say no, I will figure it out why is a no, like from where it comes, like because many people will also gonna lie to you. They're gonna say it's financially, which was not. Maybe it does, but probably it's not. And they're gonna say I don't like it, or so. What I will do first is to start asking questions as far as how important is for them, and try to figure out like the inside the source of it. Yes.
Yeah. And I think often, you know, there's a lot of solopreneurs out there, right? Like small businesses, people trying to build their own business. I think often they're so focused on just the numbers of like trying to get the sale. So I know the way that some places do it, similar to our studio, what they'll do is the first thing that like somebody will call them, ask them a couple questions. First thing they do is start talking about pricing, right? Like me, I like to go, well, first off, well, why do you even want to start a podcast? Why do you even want to do this? Like, or what fears are you facing? What are you struggling in your business right now? And then is this a good tool for you first? So I like to ask those questions and try to understand. But I feel like so many businesses, they just go straight to like, here's our price. And then they wonder why nobody's buying from them.
Yes, that's what I feel too, and that's how I translate right now to real estate. I don't just look at my commission. I don't look at the client as a paycheck, or I really look at as my client, as a family, as my friends, who I really want to help. And honestly, most of my clients refer me their family and their friends because they know how care I am.
I think there's a lot of solopreneurs that are very good at their craft, but they don't enjoy selling. They might hate selling, right? Like I always say, like, I'm not a salesperson and I don't like doing sales. So what would you say to somebody that feels like that?
That you don't have to sell. You just have to like what you do, to be passionate about it, and to know it's the best service you will provide. So you're actually helping them. You're not selling them, you're helping them.
Yeah. I actually had this conversation the other day with a friend because she was struggling with sales, and she's like, I hate being a salesperson. I told her, like, the way I kind of view it is we're not doing sales. We're helping people out. And actually we do a disservice when we don't open our mouth, when we don't invite people to the solution that we have. We actually do them a disservice because there's people out there that are struggling and we might have the solution for them. And if we don't open our mouths, if we don't guide them along the journey and help them see why we can help them, we're actually hurting them, right? If we have something that we offer that's so good,
exactly.
we need to be able to open our mouth.
So you want to share this information.
How come you got out of medical sales and moved over to real estate?
So I found out that I really like real estate when I purchased my own home. I was going every day on Zillow and just been looking in the market. And then after a month, I'm like, oh my God, I love it. Like, I love real estate. I always like real estate. And then I was thinking maybe it's going to be a good transition for me to dive into real estate because I like it. I like to look into numbers. I know Vegas really well. I know a lot of people here. So I figure out it's going to be maybe a good idea to try. And that's what I did. I studied to real estate. I passed the test. I got my license. I also did it all while I just got divorced. Yes, with 2 little girls, so it was kind of crazy time, but I'm really proud of myself I did it because I really love real estate.
And what's the difference between selling something like a product in the medical space versus selling an emotion, selling a home to a family?
I think real estate is not about selling. It's about networking. It's about knowing enough people. It's about more education, about going there and put the work. Because it's not really about selling when you know the right people and you know the market really well. So you just like match between the home and the client. So when the client wants to buy a house, it's not need to be sold. He knows what he wants. You just have to find the right place for him. When you do the work and you find the right place for him, so it's done.
Yeah. And so, you talk about networking. What do you do to network? Are you attending networking events? Like what types of events? Do you throw your own events? Like what do you do to go out and network?
I do go to networking events. I go to magazines events, the Looks magazine, my Vegas magazine. I got invited to many networking of businesses. I'm going there. Even if I don't feel like to go sometimes, because I've been talking with 100 people, all day, I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to go to another networking event, but I still going to go and do it because I know it will benefit me and I will meet there maybe potential clients or people or friends which going to become clients. And also, I've been focusing on my social media. I'm really putting myself out there and showing my life, my kids, my work, myself, which attract a lot of people to me.
Awesome. So I want to get into social media, but first let's focus a little bit more about the networking thing. I think there's a lot of people out there that don't like it, myself included. Like I don't enjoy going to networking. I always feel super awkward. It seems like everybody already has their own little cliques. What's some advice you'd give somebody who maybe doesn't enjoy it? Like how do you approach going to an event that maybe you don't know anybody at?
How to approach it is just to get out of your comfort zone and maybe put a mask on, even if it's not you to go out and talk to people. Just put a mask and okay, now I have to meet at least 3 people today. I have to get the conversations. So I will get maybe a glass of wine just to lose up a little bit. And then I'm going to start to see if they have an energy with some of, because you have some energy between people. And if I see someone or she or he looking at me, and I'm just gonna start a conversation. Hi, are you from Vegas? What are you doing here? Where are you living in Vegas? And start to see where it goes. Or I'm gonna compliment on shoes or any clothes wear, and then I will start again the conversation.
Yeah.
Yes, it's not easy, but with the time you get used to it.
Yeah, I've been doing it for a while, and I still struggle. I like when we host events because then people just come up to me. I don't have to do any work.
Yes.
And so that I prefer that, although we're trying to be better. I'm trying to attend more events because it's true. If you don't get out there, if you don't network, you are going to struggle at building your business, no matter what kind of type of business it is.
Exactly.
Right? You need to be around people because people buy from people. You have to be focused on building relationships with other people.
Exactly.
I mean, and that's one of the reasons why we started this podcast in particular. Is like, this is my networking tool, right? Like, I see somebody online, I'm like, oh, they look cool. They've been building business. I want to get to know them.
Yeah.
And so this allows me to not attend events, but events are still a necessary evil for the business. For you with like entrepreneurship, trying to build your business, is this something that's always been inside you, or like what drives you to, want to build your business?
So I think what drives me, I wasn't always like that. I was a totally opposite person 10 years ago. I was very shy. I was not outgoing a lot at all. And what's really pushed me from my comfort zone is motherhood. Actually, my 2 little girls, which I want to show them how I can succeed in life, and my divorce too, which I was all by myself here, and I have to step up and to build my life. And if I'm not going to do it, no one will do it for me. So I just had to slap myself and go get it,
No, I love that. And it's true. I mean, I think becoming a parent changes your perspective, especially when it comes to building the business. Part of the reason why I do what I do is for my kids as well, right? Like, I want to be able to provide them a certain life. I want them to be able to have experiences. And I really want to show them, like, hey, you can go out and do things. It's not easy, but you can go out there and you can kind of have the life you want by building it. And so by example, I'm trying to teach them. And so that's kind of what funds me as well. What's been like the hardest thing for you trying to build, like switching careers from going medical sales to real estate? What's been the hardest part of entrepreneurship?
The hardest part, it was ignore the old noises. I think when many people told me real estate takes time, it's going to take time, and just ignore it and focus on myself. And as well to say no for distractions, to really be on my own zone and to work 24/7, and because it takes a lot of work. And with the medical sales, it was like 9 to 5 job, and then that's it, I'm done. With real estate, it's 24/7. You have to create your own business, marketing, emails, phone calls, going over the market, and it just, till today, I'm finishing my work sometimes in 10, 11 p.m. because I have to get things done.
Yeah. And as a single parent, that's probably hard. It's, especially because I'm sure you want to be there for your kids. How do you create those boundaries of building the business, serving clients, but being there for your 2 kids?
So I know, because I'm in a joint custody, so I know when I'm having the time with them, which let's say I pick them up at school around 3 and then till they go to sleep at 8, 3 to 8, they have the time with me no matter what. And then from 8, I'm going to work till 10, 11 p.m. and I'm going to complete these hours instead of going to sleep or watch TV.
Yeah.
So it's a time blocking, which I know when I'm spending the time with them, I'm going to be 100% of them. So, of course, nothing is perfect. I have some days I have to answer phone calls and to work, and there is, emergency stuff, which they understand. I explain them, Mommy have to work. If you can give me 30 minutes, an hour, of course, I'm going to use some screens or, and they understand it. And they see me hustling, they see me working, and I'm sure when they will grow up, they will appreciate it.
Oh, definitely. And it's one of those things too, right? There's different paths and situations and times of entrepreneurship where, where you can be there a whole lot more. And then other times where it's like, hey, I have to hustle more. Like, you want to keep doing this, you want to keep doing that. I have to be there. So there is that sacrifice that comes. I know with us building the studio, that's what I told my wife. I was a little bit naive. I thought, oh, this will be really quick. I've been in business for 15 years on my own doing video production. Well, in 6 months, I'll never work again, right? And then, 6 months in, I realized, I was like, oh my gosh. But, my wife was super patient. I told her, I was like, look, I know for the past 10 years, I've been home a lot, but building this new business, we're just in this time where I'm going to be working a lot. Now, I have the boundaries of I don't miss hockey games for my son. He plays hockey, or my little one just started to learn to skate. I don't miss those things. I make sure I'm there, but that means maybe I get home a little bit later, but when I'm home, I'm home. And then once you guys fall asleep, I'll go back and work again. Long nights in the studio. Might even sleep here working because I'm just here so late. There's no point of going home.
Yes, I think to building your own business, you have to sacrifice a year, 2 or 3, whatever it takes you from your life to focus on it. And this sacrifice will give you so much in the future.
Yeah.
But
along those lines, while you're sacrificing, you need to be very intentional. My wife and I realized recently that we weren't being as intentional with family trips, even little day trips, drive to the beach and come back on the same day, right? We don't even have to spend a lot of money, but we kind of stopped doing those because I got so busy. So we've recently been a lot more intentional about, let's make sure, even if I'm tired and even if I have a lot on my mind about business, I'm like, that can wait till, I don't have to work over the weekend. That can wait. Let me go and do this day trip to Utah and Zion. Let me go to the beach and be a lot more intentional. I think what I've seen in my own life, and I don't know if you've experienced this, but I'm sure other people listening have, where, there's always work to do.
Yes.
Right? There's always work that can be done. And if we're not intentional about putting that to the side and making sure we get time with our family, there's always an excuse. There's always a reason to be back at the office working, another email to write, another, proposal to write up, another lead to try to follow. It's always there.
Yes, you always have something going on. I think I feel the same as you. I'm very intentional in my time. And if I know I want to spend time with my family, things can wait. And it's okay. No one hunting me. And I know if I will do my job the right way, and I'm going to have no distraction in the time frame I'm putting for work, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay.
Yeah. Yeah. There's, I forgot where, I think it's from a movie, and I forgot what was happening, and this is totally not even in the right context, but there's a saying in it, and I try to remember that whenever I'm getting too stressed. I forgot what was going on, and I don't remember the movie, like I said, but the quote is but did you die? Right? It's okay, we're all, there's all this stress and all these things, but is the business going to fail because of this? No.
Yes.
Is the business going to die? No. This can wait. And even dealing with clients, if you set that expectation of being hey, especially being a single parent, right? I'm a single parent. My time with my kids is sacred. So if I don't get back to you, I'm sorry, but I'm with them. Yeah. Actually, my voicemail basically says something along those lines. Look, I'm either with a client or I'm with my kids. So shoot me a text message. And I get, voicemails all the time. It's oh, I just heard your voice message. I love it. I hope you're with your kids having fun.
I will steal it.
Yeah. And it's true because look, if I don't answer, it's because I'm either with a client or I'm with my kids, and either one, I can't pick up for you. So shoot me a text message. I'll get to you when I can. But if I'm with my kids, I'm with them. I'm not.
Yeah, same. Yeah, and I think you actually get more productive and get more business when you put your time for yourself and your family as well. Because I see many people who is hunting for money and more business and call leads, but they get burnout. And that's not good. When you put the good energy out there, leads going to come to you. People are going to call you. And you don't have to work so hard through that. You can chill down and relax. And of course, get the work done. I'm not saying not, but put some energy for you too and your family, because it will come back to you.
Yeah. And entrepreneurship, there's a lot of ups and downs. What do you do during those down parts? How do you stay strong? How do you put out the good energy, right? Because entrepreneurship is scary, especially at certain times. What is it that you do? You know, is it working out? Is there some sort of escape that you have? Like, how do you stay motivated during the hard times?
So how I stay motivated through the hard time? First is working out. Working out totally helped me to wake up myself, my body, get me in the zone. It's like a therapy for me. I work out 5-6 days a week. And I think to put everything in perspective. Because, maybe a client canceled, you don't have energy, nothing works. But as long as your health is in a good shape and your health of your kids, if you have kids, and you have a roof on top of your head, everything in perspective. Like, everything is okay. Like, people will say no, deal's going to cancel, and you just have to keep going and go through the next deal. Because it's going to help you forget when the other last deal has been done. So you have now a new client, so it's okay. Clients come and go, and just stay consistent, because you never know when it's going to be the next client. Actually, I have a really good example. I have a client that I was helping him to find a condo here in Las Vegas. And I've been working with him for about 2 months. And at the end of the day, he canceled. Okay? Which I could get frustrated, but I didn't. I still stay in touch with him, and I was still a good friend with him. And 2 months later, he referred me a client, and this client bought a $2 million home. So you never know, and you always have to, be positive about things.
Yeah, and I think, especially when you're in a service-based business, sometimes we take it personally, right? Sometimes when a client leaves us like that, it's really easy to feel very personal because we're providing a service. We're giving ourselves to that person, our knowledge, our help, and we have to learn to not take those things personally, which I struggle with all the time because we pour so much into some of our clients, and there's people that we've poured into, and then they go to a different studio that doesn't care about them. And I'm like, wait, what, really? Like, okay.
You can't understand people sometimes, and you have to understand that we are different, we are human.
Well, and you find your people, right? Like, your clients are right for you, and the people that leave aren't right for you. And, like with my production company I've had for, 17 years or something like that. Like, the clients we have are really good fits for us, and they've stayed with us for 10, 15 years because they're really good fits. And then we get some people that fall away because they're not the right fit. Maybe either the budget's not the right budget for us, so it's not a good fit money-wise for them, or personality-wise, it's not a good fit. And so for me, I always tell people, like, when they come to the studio, I'd rather work with less people and be able to give them more quality time because we're a good fit for each other, than to be filled with people that I don't enjoy working with, that I don't enjoy helping, that are rude. Exactly. And so, I don't know, but I think that's something that, especially if you're new to entrepreneurship and you provide a service-based business, it's something you have to overcome early on, of learning to not take rejection personally, because they have a million things going on with their life. And once again, maybe it's not the right fit. Yeah. And if you were helping that person, maybe you would have been too busy to help the person who bought the $2 million home. Yeah. Right? You wouldn't have been able to give them the attention they needed.
Exactly. I think about that, you have to put your emotions on the side, and to understand that you don't take anything personally, like you said. Just put your emotions on the side and think about the other side. Things happened. Like, for me, they buying a house, it's a big deal. Or selling a house, it's a huge deal. It's one of the best major decisions on their life, which I understand it. Even if a client wants to cancel in the last minute, I'm not going to be pissed. I know how to breathe and to take it in a good way. Like, you never know what's going to happen. Maybe it's going to buy in a year. Maybe it's going to sell in a year. Always to calm down and to trust the process.
Right. And what you're talking about, right? Like the sales cycle it's not an immediate thing, right? Like we're building relationships with people, and that interaction you had over here, and maybe they fell away, right? Maybe that guy that you were working with, he disappears, but then a year later he's ready again, or he has a friend, and because you treated him well, because you weren't rude, because you didn't treat him poorly when he decided not to buy, now he calls you, now he sends someone to you, right? Like it's all these things have a compounding effect on the business.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, I mean, every business is built on relationships. So with you, right, what's the difference? I feel like most people that are in the service-based business want to work with clients that have money, right? They want more luxury clients, right? How do you get clients that are buying $2 million homes? Is the process of working with them different than working with somebody that maybe can only afford a $200,000 house?
Yes, it is different. You have to be more professional. In a $10 million house, you have many details you have to know: design, architecture, and you have to know pricing of any, let's say, cabinet, kitchen, bedroom designs, upgrades, and you have to know the market really well and to treat them more personal. Like, you have to treat every client personally, but when you purchase a $10 million home, you have to understand many information and many things. But I will treat any clients the same, of course. Just you have to have more knowledge in the luxury part. Just to get luxury clients is just to get around more high finance people, like people who has a little bit more money. When you get around them, so you have more opportunity to get works with them as a client.
Yeah, so it goes back to networking.
Yes.
And finding the right spaces where those people might be.
Exactly.
Right? Because the person running like a $10 million business is not the same events as a person doing low six figures. Yeah,
so probably you will find a $10 million, let's say, it's zero bond in the win. Okay, so you want to go hang out there. Or if it's a different way to approach, or if you want to do farming. So you want to farm in a higher pricing zip code. Let's say Summerlin, let's say Henderson, let's say McDonald Highlands, Iskaya, Ridges. So you want to go maybe farming there, market there. You want to market your social media more luxury. So it's what you attract and what you are going for. If you're going over luxury, you want to find only luxury, just focus on that.
No, I love that. You know, we work with a few big companies. We recently just worked with Google, and obviously they're very big.
Yes.
And, you know, it's a slightly different process. A lot of times it's easier, too, because they know what they want. They know how much they have to spend, and usually it's a good amount. And then there are some nuances I find when I work with, let's just say, like a pharmacy versus a small mom and pop shop. When I do like video production for the website, you know, they actually probably have less questions for me. I need to establish that I understand what I'm doing and the credibility and authority. And once I do that, it does seem like they tend to trust more. They have less questions. Like, you know, when we just worked with Google and VaynerMedia, you know, we had one Zoom call where they kind of just interviewed me, and, you know, it's that professionalism, it's showing that expertise. Same with like any other client. And then after that, it's really just smooth sailing because they trust you a little bit more. And so, you know, for us, we do work with a wide range of clientele, you know, some that are making $150,000 a year and some that are bringing in $15 million a year, right? It's a wide range, and they do need different things, or they care about different things. And so I feel like you have to you learn that kind of over time, like, oh, so these people care way more about this, right? Like they care a lot more about their guest expectation and experience when they're coming in because they don't want to look bad in front of their friend who's worth 300 million.
Yeah.
Versus the person who's like a solopreneur, maybe doing 150K a year. They're more concerned about, making sure that every dollar they spend is worth it, right? So there's different conversations.
Yeah, it's a different market as well. In real estate, it's a different market. Yeah.
So building something solo, how do you keep it all from blowing up? Do you have a system? Like, okay, you talked about working out. Mm-hmm. So is it like I wake up at 5 a.m.? Like, what does your day look like?
I am very organized person. I work with 3 calendar. I have a big board that I write down every night. Then I really know what I have to do the next day. So I normally wake up. If I have an early meetings, I'm going to work out later. If I'm not going to have like very early meeting, I'm going to start my day with a workout. And then I'm going to shower there probably, get ready. While I'm eating breakfast, drinking a smoothie, I'm going to go over my emails, my to-do list. I'm sending maybe clients properties to check if I know I have these kind of buyers who are looking for this kind of home. So I'm trying to match it out. And then I'm going to go over if I have showings, meeting, listing appointments, and I'm going to keep up my day. Even if I'm not busy, I'm going to do things that make me busy, which I'm going to create content, I'm going to generate marketing, emails, postcards, and I'm going to make things to create business.
What's the one tool that you feel is the best tool for keeping you organized?
My calendar. Just to write down every day what I have to do. When I write down and I put it like in a specified hours, it's helping me a lot. Like from 9 to 10, I block it out for going over the market and sending emails to clients. And then I have another hour for create social media, and then I'm scheduling it through the week. And then, so when I block it out and I know what I need to do, so...
Yeah, I need to be a lot better about that. I'm very bad at that.
It's not easy.
I'll show up and I'm like, okay, wait. I just have everything in my head, and then it's hard to remember, okay, which one needs to get done. That's something I need to work on personally is, writing out a list of like, here's the most important things. Here's everything we need to do.
Yes.
Now let's go. These need to get done first because they're the hardest, most uncomfortable ones.
Yes.
Let's get them done because then the rest of the day is the easy tasks.
It's funny you just say that because literally last night I had my night to myself. My kids were with their dad. I was cooking dinner. And then I'm like, okay, tomorrow is the last day of June. It's been 6 months of the year. I have to organize my calendar. I have to know what I want this month. I have to put my goals. I have to see what I want to create in content, how I generate more leads. I have like 4 listings, how I'm going to go and close this listing soon. What should I do? So I really was in it, and it was really nice because today I wake up in the morning and I know what I want to do.
Yeah. What do you feel like is the hardest part about building something alone that maybe people don't normally talk about?
That you're alone. Honestly, the loneliness sometimes it can be hard, which I do like it sometimes because I get around people all day, but it can be very lonely too. And then you have no one to push you. You have to push yourself every day, this is the hardest part. You have to work on your brain. When you work on the brain as a muscle and you train it to do things you don't used to do, it's going to be easy. But it's hard to start doing it like every other workout. It's going to be painful in the start, but when you dive into it, it's going to become easier a little bit with time.
Yeah, and I feel like entrepreneurship within itself is sort of a lonely journey.
Yes.
That's actually part of the kind of reason why we started this podcast as well, is to kind of let people know, like, you're not alone on this journey, right? Because when we look at social media, it looks like everybody's just killing it. Everybody's winning. Everyone's better than you.
I know.
You're just like the worst person in the world and you suck at life. That's how it feels like a lot of times,
yeah,
right?
It does.
But then when you start having real conversations with other business owners, you realize that, like, I remember there's a conversation I had with somebody who I think they do like 40 or 50 million a year. And in my head, I'm like, oh,
Wow.
well, you've made it. You know what you're doing.
Yes.
Like you got no stresses in the world, no worries. And then talking to him, he's like, you know, like I'm stressed out. Like, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do that. And I'm like, wait, what? You have the same stresses I do, the same fears I do. Yours is also just much higher because your payroll is more than I make in a year. But I think, you know, entrepreneurship can feel very lonely. So I think it's important for people out there to know, like, look, like you're not alone.
Yeah.
We all get scared. We all feel like, what are we doing sometimes?
Exactly. And so we always feel we don't do enough, right? I always feel, it doesn't matter how many people will tell me. Even on my social media, I get a lot of DMs. Wow, you're doing so much. You're working out. You're an amazing mom. You're an amazing relator. But in the end of the day, I feel like I have to do more.
Yeah. And do you ever feel like when you get those DMs, like you're like, oh, you guys are just tricked. Like, I'm not that. I'm not.
Actually, I feel very like humbled, but I really appreciate it because I know I'm doing a lot, but I'm like, it's nice to see people value it, but I don't feel I'm not. Like, I'm not underestimate myself. So
see, I do a little bit because people like, you know, they'll see what we put out and they'll see like the studio or the clients we get and they're like, oh my gosh, you guys are crushing. And I'm like, dude, we're so small still. Like we're nobody. Like we're just tricking you guys. We are, you know, trying to figure out how to just operate day to day still.
Yeah.
You know, we're trying to figure out all these things. Like, I think once again, I think with social media, like there's this misconception of just success and that people don't struggle with things, you know, and it's unfortunate because I think it hurts a lot of people, especially younger entrepreneurs that are like brand new to this, because then it looks like, well, that person just started. Look how successful they are. But they're going through the same struggles that you are, but they don't post it, right? They don't share it. And so, I don't know. I always feel like, honestly, I've been doing video production for like 21 years professionally. So a long time. And every single shoot I go on, I'm like, well, this is when they're going to find out. I don't know what I'm doing. So I definitely have that imposter syndrome that people talk about. Like, I know that I know what I'm doing. And I know that I'm good at what we've built and what we provide for clients. But I do have that
insecurity.
I don't even know if it's necessarily insecurity, because I also view it as like, if I don't feel that way, then I have no reason to improve.
Yes, that's right.
I also like feel like it's good for me to feel this way of like, I don't know what I'm doing. I need to keep figuring out, like, we're not good enough yet, because if I go, no, we're good, then we're never going to improve.
Chill down,
We're never going to keep trying to figure out how do we better serve clients, how do we better do this. And so for me, like, I don't view it as, like I said, I'm definitely insecure too, but I try to not view it as like a negative or like an insecurity, but more as like fuel to improve.
Grow. Yes, I feel the same as you sometimes, that after I finish a transaction or working with a client or finish a meeting, I'm going to reflect and I'm going to ask, like, what should I do better to be better the next time?
Yeah. So I was just looking at this. Yeah, I think, like I said earlier too, the road of entrepreneurship, there's just so many ups and downs. There's times, have there been times for you when you're like, I just want to quit and go get a 9-to-5, or have you never felt that way?
I never felt it that way, because me as a person, I cannot do 9-to-5. Like, I need to be my own boss. I need to schedule my own time. I love it. But everyone, like I said, they're different. That's who I am. I like be my own boss. I like to push myself. I know it's not easy, but I do like it.
Yeah. No, I get stressed out sometimes, and I'm like, like a 9-to-5 sounds nice, but I'm like, I can never do it. Like,
yes,
I never. The only time I ever had a 9-to-5 type job was when I was 17 or 16. I worked at Bed Bath & Beyond, which is like a linens.
Oh, yes, I know Bed Bath.
I worked at Linens and Things, which was like a Bed Bath & Beyond. And I just folded towels all day, and it was miserable.
Yes.
And then I did work in video. It wasn't necessarily 9-to-5. It was weird. It was kind of like I worked my own hours. It was like almost like a freelancer. And so I've never really had a real job. And I mean, there's been a couple times where I've almost like quit, or like I was offered a decent like opportunity to sell and go join a company, and I'm like, no, I like,
It's not for me.
I don't think I could go back or start doing that.
Yeah, I can go back as well. I like to have my no time and free time together. You know what I mean? You have like no time for anything, but you have your free time as well.
Yeah.
So you can like kind of go through it, but again, it's not for everyone. There is a big ups and downs. But if I can do it and you can do it, I'm sure everyone can do it too. It's just about believing in yourself and push yourself.
I love it. What advice would you give a young entrepreneur that's just starting out? Maybe it's a single mom, just like yourself. What kind of advice would you give them?
Not giving up, even if it's so hard and nothing is going to the right place. Just don't give up. Stay consistent. Stay disciplined and put yourself out there. Just stay visible. And that's the best advice I can get. Just be consistent every day, no matter what, and ignore your mood.
I like that.
Yeah.
Ignore your mood.
Ignore your mood. Don't listen to them.
I like that. And then what's your passion behind real estate? Like, what is it that you love, and what do you love about helping the people?
I like to help the people get their dream home. I like helping the people get to their goals, even if it's selling their home and buying a new one, or to get, for family especially, I love them to see the joy for, going through a new house, and it's a new beginning. And that's what's passionate me about, is to see these transitions, the new beginnings, I love as well homes. I like to see homes. I can see homes all day. So that's also really nice. And I like to work with people. I'm a people person. So I like to be with people all day and get to know them and help them and maybe to stay friends as well.
Awesome. I love it. And I appreciate you coming in and sharing a little bit of your story today. Where can people find you and follow along your journey?
So they can find me on my website as well, DanielleAzulay.com. They can find me my Instagram, Danielle Azulay, Facebook, Danielle Azulay. And I just feature in My Vegas magazine in the cover, so they can see me there as well. So just put Danielle Azulay, and they can find me.
Awesome. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.